Welcome, everyone. Let's begin our practice today. We're going to pay attention to our cells and get them moving and active. Of course, they're always in motion, but we want to just make sure our poses match that dynamic energy. So beginning in very briefly in seated, we're going to stand up and move around. But let's begin the practice by seated position with the anchoring of the sits bones on that edge of a blanket or a cushion, feeling the curve of the lower back, the tilt of the pelvis spilling forward. If you close the eyes, it's a little bit easier to go inward, bringing your mind's eye to the base of the spine so you can align that lovely column with that curve in our mind's eye, focusing on that amazing spine and its intricacies, traveling up the mid-back to the back of the ribs, gently guiding those back ribs towards the back body so we can strengthen the core. Then up past the shoulder blades, feeling the glide of the shoulder blades down the back towards the glutes. Perhaps with your awareness of your mind's eye, you're feeling that breath travel in and out of the body, supporting this dynamism of our cells, always refreshing, always renewing. And then we'll travel past those shoulder blades up towards the neck, making a path past the shoulder sockets, the shoulders rolling away from the ears, and then the amazing curve of the neck, supporting the rising up of the skull and the crown of the head towards the sky, setting us up our column of the spine, connecting sky and earth. Inhaling and exhaling, feeling the breath, really feeling the breath today, traveling into the body physically, the physicality of the breath and the quality that it has right now. In order to really communicate to the entire nervous system, I invite you to enter our conscious breath with humming. So we're going to do 3 rounds in our exhale of humming, which will send vibrations out to the entire body through the vagus nerve, the largest nerve network in the entire body. You can inhale gently. And on your exhale, hum. You can join me if you'd like. Just like a sound like a buzzing bee. One more inhale. And then one more, inhaling, and as you exhale, just humming to yourself, whatever quality that is. This is called buzzing bee breath for a good reason. Notice the effect if you hummed with me, feeling that vibration through the body, through the arms and the legs. And then bring your focus to the third eye, your mind's eye focus with the eyes closed. That spot between the eyebrows, our still point for the mind, the all-knowing eye. Keeping that wise awareness of our mind, body, spirit connected throughout our practice. Flutter the eyes open, and then we can come to standing, warming things up. So just come onto the hands and knees, and then lift the knees up by curling the toes under, walk the hands towards the feet, and gently bring yourself up, hinging at your hips, inhaling up, And then stepping to the middle of the mat for a nice anchoring experience through our feet. Take the feet hip width apart into our classic mountain pose, spreading the toes. So we set our strong foundation as if we're standing on warm sand. Feel the connection through the feet, all four corners and all the toes, and really see if you can create that beautiful footprint in the sand. Feel the energy of the feet pulling together and how that enlivens your legs. And then we'll travel just gently with our awareness up the legs and then up to the pelvic area, feeling the glutes engage, allowing the tailbone to drop so that it's dropping towards the feet, pointing down like an arrow. And then we feel that enlivening of the core and the low ribs tuck in. And we also, you can even put your hand on the heart and just feel that heart shining forward. Exhaling, drop the arms. And then raise the shoulders up to the ears for a moment, inhaling. Exhaling, dropping the shoulders away from the ears and feeling a further rising through the crown of the head. Take the palms out in front of you and notice broadening across those collarbones. Great. And then let's even take those palms out to the side as much as you can, rotating the shoulders outward. And then take the palms forward again. See if you can hold them in that forward position as we turn our chin over the right shoulder, exhaling. Drawing the breath inward as we come forward again and looking over to the left. And then back to center, looking up, celebrating our blue sky. Even if there's clouds in between, wherever you are, there's always blue sky up there. Exhale, look down. Bring the chin into the jugular notch. So we're just tucking the chin, feeling that stretch on the back of the neck. Inhale. Exhale, drop the chin a little more. Inhale, draw your gaze up towards the front of the room, and then we'll nod positively. So let's bring some nodding, some yes into our lives. So nodding up and down. And then using that nod to guide the chin over towards the right shoulder. We'll just keep that gentle nod, exploring some new pathways along the neck. That rotation. Keeping the awareness of the spine, and then we'll come back through center, keeping that nod. Relaxing the jaw. Explore a bit, and then come back to center. Beautiful. Keep that gaze neutral. As we inhale, now take the palms towards the body. And then we'll exhale the right ear toward right shoulder. Gently softening, not forcing. So you just feel that stretch along the left trapezius, all the way down the arm. Reach the left arm out to a diagonal, keeping that nice and sharp arrow of the arm. We'll take that in circles. So we're drawing circles, small circles with the fingertips on the left side. Inhaling. Exhale, change the direction of the circle. And then if you want to use your right, we can drop the left hand. And then if you want to use your right hand to help your head up, you can do that. Exhaling to the other side, softening, feeling that stretch and just allowing that anchoring through the feet, anchoring through the hips and our long arc of the spine. And then we'll take that right arm out to that diagonal point with those fingertips and then gentle circles. Your exhale changes direction of the circle. Use your left hand and drop the right hand and use the left hand to help the head up. Inhale the arms up to the sky, reaching along the side body. Pick an apple or a plum. It's plum season, so pick a plum on the right side. Pick a plum on the left and the right and the left, noticing the fabric of the side bodies will stretch here. And then bring the the thumbs to the elbow creases. And from the fingertips on those elbows, feel the stretching of that skin of the arms as well as we gently guide that skin upward towards the sky, inhaling. gently tucking the low ribs in as we do this. So we're taller, and activating the core as well. Let's sway side to side with that tall sense and creating a beautiful arc in the spine, inhaling up, exhaling to the side, anchoring through that mountain pose at our base. Find your breath again. Regenerate those cells. Really noticing in your body as well, individually, your cells might be congregating around certain areas, maybe creating some sensation, some great, some not so great. So we'll just pay attention, right? Inhale, exhale. We're going to bring the elbows out and our fingers clasped behind the head at the base of the skull, creating a little bit of traction to the spine, just a millimeter lifting up, supporting the back of the skull. And then we're going to just separate the fingers a little bit, and we'll separate those elbows out into our butterfly wings. So look up at the sky, support the back of the skull as you take that gentle back bend, and then bring the elbows together, curling in. Inhale again at the pace of our monarch butterfly. On a leaf, back together. Explore our shoulder sockets and that rotation together. Use the breath as the fuel, as the vehicle to clean out, to filter out what you don't need in all those body connections. And then let's take the fingertips to the tops of the shoulders, right? And then the elbows out. We're going to make circles with our elbows out behind us. Following the path of breath, feeling the lift of the ribs as we make those upward circles. And let's change the direction of the circle. Great. And then we'll take our arms up again, really reaching up evenly this time, finding that evenness all the way from the base of our pelvis, all the way up the spine to the hands. And then exhale the elbows down to cactus pose, and then bring those elbows into the ribs. And then open up the hands to the side, up, palms up towards the sky, and just feel that freedom in the neck that you've created by that rotation. Inhale up again. Exhale into cactus. Stay in cactus. Reach out through those elbows and then drop the hands down. We're hanging those forearms like laundry on a line. And then just allow that swaying of your hands. And then up again, and then down again, exhaling. Rotate back up to cactus, and we'll close those forearms in front of the face, pressing the forearms together. I love this magic pose where you just press those forearms and the sides of the hands together. Feel that waking up along the arms back to those shoulder blades, and then rise up, inhaling with elbows up towards the sky. And when you've reached your limit, just open up the arms in, they're like a curtain opening, and then close them again. Lift up, and then one more time, really feeling the physicality of that breath, supporting the shoulders. Exhaling down, back to our elbows, docking into the ribs, palms up. Notice, look left to right. Our neck always can use a little more help here. And then look forward, allow the hands to drop to the side, and then transition behind you, clasp the fingers together. And we're going to hang the hands down at the base of the spine. So feel the drop of the hands. And as you do that, the shoulders should roll back. Shoulder blades coming together, accentuating the unrounding of the back, and using those hands and the weight of the hands like a little bit of traction there. dropping that tailbone. Again, awareness of the tailbone as an arrow pointing down. Inhaling, notice the effect on the breath. Exhale, tuck the lower ribs in. So we're tall through the heart here, broad along the collarbones, but we've activated that core, right? Excellent. And now bring the hands to the hips, and we'll take gentle circles with our hips around that axis of our spine in one direction. We're inside a large barrel and trying to get all of the edges of the barrel with your hips, or hula hoop, if any of those who are good at hula hoop. I'm much better as an adult than I was as a kid. Let's turn around those circles, change direction. And one more time. Beautiful. And then come back, bring the hands up to the ribs, and we're going to take rotation with the ribs. So this is a different isolation. Taking circles with the ribs if you can. Same effect as if you're inside that jar. But notice the breath will shift here, because here we are getting those lungs stirred up, right? We want to change our energy up. And then change the circle direction. So as we noted, even in stillness, everything in the body is in a gentle motion, right? Things are always shifting, dynamo. Let's bring that energy outward as well. See if we can create change in the body, create change outward as well. And then come back to that neutral point of your axis of the spine. Beautiful. Inhale. Feel that breath, fill the hands. So you're really breathing into the belly and the ribs. Inhale. And exhale, drop the hands, and then walk to, actually grab your block, and we'll take it to the bottom of the mat. Take a little walk to the bottom of the mat. And if you have your block, you'll just place that in between the thighs, just above the knees. And stand in mountain. Find your mountain. So the block is at the setting that allows you to be hip width apart. And your feet are same beautiful footprints in the sand. Squeeze the block in between the thighs. So we activate that area as well, feeling those inner thighs engage. And also the quads engage, lifting the knees up. So always finding our strong mountain pose as our base. And then we can really go from there. Inhale the arms up towards the sky. Feel the side bodies really getting long. Exhale, we're going to swan dive down and forward bend. So you're taking a flat back path as you squeeze the block. Please bend the knees if you feel any tension or super pinchiness in the low back. Hands find the floor, because we're early in the practice, so I don't want you to mess with the lower back. Keep the knees bent, squeeze the block, and just find that flat back. Inhaling into the back body. Exhaling, drop the head down. Early forward bend here, squeezing that block, protecting the low back. And allow the head to drop, just feeling the weight of the head. It is releasing our neck. Inhale back up to a flat back. So from our flat back, I want you to squeeze that block again and hinge back up using that core strength. So connect that long column of the spine as you come back up to standing. Inhale, exhale, find your mountain pose. Take the hands, the palms to the lower back. So nice warm palms to the lower back, giving some love to that hard working area. Point the fingertips towards the heels, and then feel the elbows travel, pointing back behind you. Look up at the sky, feel the heart looking up as well. Exhale. Now we're going to sweep the arms next to the body. Sweep the arms next to the ears. Exhale, sit back into a chair pose where you squeeze that block, keep the strong base of the feet, the knees behind the toes. And we sit back into chair. Feel the warmth along the torso that we're creating from the base of those strong legs. Nice long spine, back of skull, and the sacrum are aligned. Roll shoulders away from the ears. Relax the face. Hold for another breath. We're getting so strong here that we can even stay long. Another breath. Exhale, paint the wall in front of you with your fingertips, and then bring those hands down to the earth. Walk the hands out. Squeeze that block as you transition into a downward dog. If you want to keep the knees bent, bringing the ears between the arms, you can do that. Coming up to tiptoes and just squeezing that block. And then allowing perhaps the legs to straighten out a little more, getting into our hamstrings. Inhale, but feel free to come up into tiptoes and then allow the heels to descend slowly and come up again, exploring the flexibility of the foot and the hamstrings together. Let's fuel ourselves with that breath, inhaling as we lift the heels, exhaling, and feeling the length of the spine. Push away with your hands, that strong base of the hands, and then bend the knees and bring them down to earth. Remove the block, place it to the side, and then bring the forearms down. And if you need to cushion underneath your shins, feel free to do that now. Just take a tabletop until you can find your way to forearm tabletop. So I've got the forearms so that the elbows are beneath the shoulders. And we've got our base in the back, the shins and the top of the feet. So we're taking a forearm cat-cow here so that we can really bring the energy into the back of, to the mid and upper back. Inhale, curl the tailbone under and just feel the curling of the spine as you lift the back of the spine, the ribs towards the sky, separate the shoulder blades, and the head should drop and just look at the knees. And then exhaling, lift the tailbone, a different shape of our arc today with our forearm tabletop, and then into cow. Bring the gaze up between the hands towards the top of the mat and back into cat. Make this luxurious cat. Fluidity. Cascading down the spine, cascading up the spine. Cleanse, get down to that minuscule level in the spine, all of those intricacies, all the cells that support the mobility of the spine. Breathe, oxygenate. And then come on back to a neutral spine. So it's going to be slight diagonal for the spine, right? With the crown of the head still in line with the spine. This time we're going to get into more unrounding of the back and into the back, the inside of the shoulder blades as we glide the shoulder blades away from each other. And you'll feel that those rhomboids and the point of the spine in between the shoulder blades lift towards the sky. Exhale, that point of the spine and the sternum drops towards the floor and we squeeze the shoulder blades together. Oxygenate, inhale as you lift up again. Maybe feeling some tension that you didn't even know was there. Unlocking some of those tighter spots in the spine. A couple more times here with the breath. Beautiful. Now use those hands strong on the mat as you lift up into our traditional tabletop. And we're going to get our core strength here going as we take the energy of the shoulders away from the ears, curl the right toes under, lengthen that right leg in the back, and gently rock forward and back. So we're getting that energy into the back of the leg from the lower back all the way to the bottom of that right foot. Find your neutral place, magnetize in towards that center of the spine and lift the right leg off the floor. Balance your favorite beverage on your sacrum. Make sure the hips are even, in other words. Inhale the left arm next to left ear. Feel the length as you reach away from that center, and exhale, draw into the center. Hold it for a breath. Holding strong through your right hand and your right arm. And another breath. The exhale brings you back down, hand and shin down to the earth. Inhale, exhale. We'll curl the toes on the left and rock back and forth. And then draw into the center as you lift the left leg off the floor. Balance that drink again, summer beverage. And if you want to see if those hips are even, you can just to feel that with your right hand, because sometimes you feel like it's even, but it's not. And then inhale the right arm up to next to the right ear. Draw away with the inhale. Exhale, magnetize in. Draw the breath in, sending it into those strong limbs. Exhale. One more breath here, holding into center. Reminding ourselves of our inner strength. Exhale down. Find our neutral tabletop. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to take the right foot forward. So stay strong on that left shin as you take the right foot forward on the inside of the right hand into it's like a right angle lunge here. So we're strong through the right front foot and finding the base of the back shin. Now, with the strong base of the back shin and the front foot, draw the energy together in a diagonal. And when you do that, you feel the base really liven up and ignite. And then take the fingertips to the mat, draw them towards the back of the mat, and really lengthen the spine away from the pelvis. And then remember, I was talking about how the hips seem even sometimes. Check in with those hips and see if you can square them off. So as you draw that energy together, right? So if you want to grab a block now, you can, and just place it underneath the face, just to have a different base here as we take ourselves into a deeper hip stretch. So from here, we're dropping into that right hip, and that's a deep stretch already. If you want to stay here, that's fine. Or you can move that block over to the diagonal. So you're moving it to the left diagonal. And then we're going to take that long line of the spine and we're going to match that back shin with the spine and just gently walk the hands over to a diagonal direction. Only go as comfortable for you, but definitely shift the back shin so that it's in line with the spine. And you want to keep the right knee behind the right toes and in line with the toes. Feel that energy from the spine drawing out of the pelvis, so in a nice long flat back, and exhale into that hip. This is a deep hip stretch, so do be conscious of not going too far into the diagonal. Even if it's just a tiny diagonal, that's okay too. Dropping into that right hip. Using your breath, visiting those deeper core connections, deeper connections in our joints, and then walk the fingers back so that they're framing that front foot. And then we're going to curl the left toes under and come up into a low lunge. So lift the knee off the mat, find that low lunge. So it's a long left side. Hands down on the mat or fists, connecting our feet, the back foot to the front foot. Yes. And now we're going to tiptoe our toes on the left side forward. So we're going to come into a forward bend on our top of the mat. And feel the head hang down. Maybe the legs get to straighten out a little bit here so you can explore some hamstring stretch if that's okay for your back. And inhale into a flat back. And then take the hands to the top of the thighs. Inhale, float the torso up carefully up to our mountain pose, just taking our altitude higher. Exhale, drop the shoulders away from the ears and turn around on the mat so you're facing, and you got plenty of mat in front of you. Inhale, the arms next to the ears, sit back in the chair. This time we don't have our block with us, so we're just imagining it there using that same strength. Sit back, draw shoulders away from the ears. Okay, let's finger paint that wall again with the fingertips. Yes, we're keeping it long as you draw the hands down to the mat. Hang the head down briefly so we can give some relief to the neck. Keep the legs bent if you like, or straighten them. And then we're going to walk those hands out to the end of the mat and get into another downward facing dog. This time, just facing the other way on the mat. Notice the difference in your down dog. Since we don't have the block in between, we have the freedom to pedal the legs right and left. So pedal those heels. Awareness of our spine, lengthening. And on next exhale, bring the knees down to the mat. And you might want to switch your blanket up. You mentioned that. We won't be here too long, but if you want to just cushion again. Find your nice strong tabletop. We'll do a traditional cat-cow here in our regular tabletop. Curl tailbone under. Curl up. Look at the knees. Exhale into cow. And then find our neutral. This time we're going to bring the left foot forward inside the left hand. And we'll find our anchor again. Front foot, back shin. Draw them together. And find your even hips, if you can square them off. And also feel that energy in the left hip socket. Use your breath. Deep hip stretch here. Now walk the hands over on that diagonal. If you can keep that steady left knee behind the toes, and you can take a block if you want to use a stronger base there. But just walk out to and match your shin with in the line with the spine. Dropping down. Noticing probably waking up some sensations in that left hip. Again, don't go too far, no over efforting here. Back to your breath, and then walk the hands in. Neutral, curl the right toes under. If you have that blanket, move it aside. Feel that length on the right side as you draw the energy of the hands towards the back of the mat. Nice long lunge here. And then tiptoe the right toes forward. Find our feet and footprints underneath there. Hip width apart. Bend the knees and allow the head to hang. Again, take the thumbs to the elbow creases here. So you can feel that pull that we had standing up, but this time draping the spine over the thighs. And just feeling that length you can create by holding onto those elbows. Beautiful. And then let's hinge up into a flat back with the fingertips on the mat. And then with floating sensation in the back body, inhale, hinging at the hips, stand up. And here we are in mountain at the top of the mat. Stand with the hands on the hips. And just find the breath. And then drop the hands, inhale the arms up above the head. Let's take a moment here, just to find our breath again. Draw that line towards the center of the body with the prayer position. I want to put in this stretch that I meant to do earlier. Let's take the arms out into a T. And here with our strong mountain pose, they're just strong out into a T. Turn the chin over the right fingertips and gaze over your right fingertips. And with your left hand, you're going to press that left hand into an imaginary wall. So since we were doing that, all that downward dog, let's stretch the arms out. So keep it in that proud warrior stance with your hands, but you're going to press that left hand into an imaginary wall. Feel that buzz along the arm. And then bring the gaze forward. And then we'll switch it up to look over the left fingertips, press the right hand into an imaginary wall. Waking up the energy along the arms, flossing our nerves. Come back to center, beautiful. Hands to hips, drop to hips, hold on to those hip points, just keeping them even as we lift the right knee up into a right angle and then draw a line in the sand. We're going to come back to a high lunge. Bend the front knee slightly as you tiptoe right foot back into our high lunge. Drop the hips. See if you can use the hands, just to that sensation of the hands on the hips to keep them squared off. The feet find each other in space, pointing that tailbone. So with your hands, just see if you can guide that tailbone to drop down and then activate that deeper lower core. Find this strong high lunge, reaching that back leg is straight, reaching through the back heel, and inhale the arms above the head. Beautiful. And then drop the shoulders away from the ears. Take the hands into prayer position above the head. Draw that energy down the center, exhaling, bringing that prayer position to the heart. Pressing prayer position. Great. Take the hands to the hips and then tiptoe forward into mountain again. Keeping this energy super dynamic. We'll take our mountain pose. Inhale the left knee up, activating that strong tower on the left, and then draw that with your toes, draw the line in the sand back into a high lunge on our left side with the right foot forward. Again, hands on hips gives a nice reminder to the body to just drop that tailbone. Stay strong in that lower core, and then inhale the arms above the head. Prayer position, inhale. Exhale, draw the line down the center. And then take the hands to the hips, tiptoe forward. Inhaling, let's do this again. We're going to go back to our high lunge, this time adding a twist. Reach back. Great. Arms out to the side. So we're drawing that energy, broadening the collarbones. Bring it into the center. Exhale into prayer. With a nice tall spine, we're going to take a gentle twist towards the right thigh. So holding everything together, let's turn that prayer position at the heart over towards the right. Towards the left. And then back again to the center. Come forward. We'll be twisting a few different poses here. And let's take that left knee up. Draw the energy back to a high lunge. Draw the line in the sand, better words. Inhale the arms out to the T. Exhale, draw that energy ball into the center, into prayer, and then twist over to the right. So this is the mid and upper spine twisting, keeping the hips even. Keeping the head in line with the spine, back to center. Hands to hips, come forward. Now we're going to take a challenging twist from the base of chair pose. So if you like that block between the thighs for a chair pose, feel free to take that. Or just come into chair. Inhale. Exhale, sit back, arms next to ears. Make that line of the spine nice and long. And then sit back. So much warmth, right? And then draw that prayer position back to the heart. So we're in prayer position in chair as well. So hands in chair, legs in chair, hands in prayer. Okay, so drawing that energy of the legs together, let's take a twist here. Keeping the spine nice and diagonal, long line together. Let's twist over to our left. Inhale with your breath back to center, twist to the right. Keeping that strong base. Exhaling back to center. And use your legs to come on back up to standing. Beautiful. Shake it out. Nice strong legs. And then we're going to take our balancing stick or our warrior 3 in 3 different positions. So we're really keeping that energy going in the legs. Take the hands to the hips. Great. Stand in mountain in the middle of the mat. Hinging from our hips, we're going to take the right foot back. So draw a tiny line in the sand behind you, keeping our long line from the foot, that back foot, all the way up to the crown of the head, hinging at the left hip. And we're going to keep our hands at the hips as we guide the hips down into either the balancing stick is more of the diagonal direction, and warrior 3 is moving towards the horizontal, keeping that left leg nice and strong through our thighs, our quads, base of the foot. And hinge back up, fall out if you need to. Take the other side, right foot down. Draw that line in the sand with the left foot and then lift off. And feeling with this hands on the hips, you can really remind yourself to grow out of that spine longer, out of the pelvis. As you hinge at the right hip, use the breath to float yourself back up. Now we're going to take our hands into our flying position. So out to our T arms. Let's see if we can find that balance. Right leg back, tilt forward, fly those jet wings out, or our hawk wings, reaching through that back foot. Keep the back foot active. And then come on back up. Other side, right foot is your base. Strong. Draw that right knee up with the quads. Exhale, fly. Keeping our gaze steady and soft and relaxed. Come on back up. Find our mountain. Inhale. Exhale. Find your strong inner core. And we'll take the arms next to the ears. Superheroes. And now we'll take that left side balance. Only go as, any pinching or anything, don't tolerate that. Just keep this pose at your personal level, or come to horizontal as much as you'd like. And then back to our right side, base, flying forward, superhero on the other side. We can be our own superheroes. Inhaling long, exhaling, back up. Oh, great job. Drop the hands. Whew. And just shake it out on the shoulders, shake it out, grab the block, come to the base of your mat. Take that block between the thighs. Here we go again to a nice support there. Inhale, the arms way up to the sky. Exhale, swan dive or hawk wings out to the side. Squeeze the block, hinge as you forward bend, squeezing the block, walk the hands out to our dog again with the block. See about in your mind's eye, close the eyes as you're in downward dog and just notice any difference in your dog pose from earlier. Really feeling the lift at that midpoint of this pose, which is those lifted hinging of the hips. And relaxing the face and the neck. And then if you can slide forward into plank, we'll get a nice strength and warmth in our arms, squeezing the shoulders down away from the ears, and then back to down dog. 2 more times using your breath, inhaling into plank, exhaling back to dog. And then 1 more time forward. Exhale to dog. And then bring those knees down gently to the mat. Remove the block. And then we're going to come forward into a knee plank briefly. Find the long spine, bend the elbows, and snake the thighs down to the mat. And then snake the spine into our cobra. So we have the hands next to the shoulders with the forehead on the mat. Tap the tops of the feet onto the floor. Point the tailbone towards the heels. Nice setup for our baby cobra. Inhale, off, head off the floor, shoulders curl up. Exhale down, 2 more. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale down. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale down. And then roll over simply onto your back. Take the knees together. Feet wider towards the edges of the mat. Into easy pose. Drape the spine down on the mat. And if you have a strap handy, you can grab that as well. Finding our base of the back body. And just finding your place on the mat here. So the knees are together, feet are hip width apart. So we've got a little relief on the low back, hand to heart, hand to belly. Take a tour. Just notice the connections in the body. Notice any remaining tension, any areas that need a little extra love. And open the eyes and then drape the arms next to the body. Feel those shoulders melt away from the center. And then we'll take the knees to hip width and then bring the soles of the feet together, the knees wide apart. So the knees are just nice and relaxed out to the side while you press those feet together. And keep the length of the arms on the mat, really pulling that energy of the sternum up towards the sky, aligning everything beautifully. And then we're going to take the knees, rocking them side to side. Great. Take the hands at the outside of the thighs, assist those thighs coming up. Take the feet to the floor and just grab that strap as we inhale the right knee towards the face and take that bent knee on the left side. We're just going to take that sole of the right foot up towards the sky. And since we're going for all energy dynamic here, let's take that strap and just rub it on the bottom of the foot. So we're kind of like a tiny little towel. Dry on the bottom of the foot to activate some of those points on the sole of the foot. And then bring the strap back to the ball of the foot and reach up long, diagonal or right ankle with the leg dropping into the right hip. Inhale. Find your breath again. Exhale. Gravity. Dropping that femur into the hip bone. Into the hip socket. Great. And just bend and straighten here, just kind of noticing the sensation along the back of the leg, really communicating so many of our connections there through the back of the leg to the spine. And then we'll take the right heel towards left hip. So we get another hamstring stretch here. Gently guiding our hamstrings. And then guiding that outward away from the body. So out to the right, hold onto that strap and allow, again, the knee out to the side on the left side. So we're counterbalancing. Finding in your mind's eye, travel to the sacrum, that triangle at the base of the spine as your anchor. And then take the left foot to the floor and travel upward with that right foot towards the sky. And then taking your left foot, press into the mat, bridge up, and we'll go over to our left side twist. Take the left hand to the strap and walk your left knee back towards the back of the mat. Right hand to that beautiful heart, elbow to the sky. Draw that arc above you with the elbow and then out to a T-arm, opening up into a twist. Feel the back body settle. So the back of the ribs, feel those back of the lungs with the inhale. Exhale, settle in. Maybe press through your left elbow just to get our twist a little deeper. And if you want to take your right hand and find your left foot for a thigh stretch, you can do that too. Gazing over our right shoulder. A really connected stretch here, bringing everything into harmony and rotation. And then releasing that foot if you have hold of it, sweeping a beautiful line with your fingertips up in an arc. Right hand meets left on the other side. And we'll guide that foot back up, staying in our hamstring stretch here. Another moment. Bending right knee. Let's take the right leg long on the mat and the left leg long on the mat too. So we really keeping our constant awareness of the change and that we're creating, of the motion that we are using to heal those stuck points in the body. Let's bend the knees again. Soles of the feet to the floor. Inhale the left knee towards the face. And then lasso that left ball of left foot, sole the foot to the sky, and we'll wake up those connections on the bottom of the foot with our strap. Inhale, exhale, drop into that left hip, femur bone dropping into our hip socket. Feel free to bend and straighten, encouraging the hamstring to release slightly, and then slide into another position with the left heel towards right hip. Awareness of sacrum as your anchor. So you want to not lift up too much through the hips. We're just guiding that motion through the hip socket. Now we'll switch it up and we'll take that leg over to the left side, really pressing through our strap so we can keep an active leg there, active muscles, and perhaps the right knee goes out to the right side for counterbalance. Light up your awareness of that sacrum, a lovely triangle anchoring this pose. And then press the right foot to the mat and guide your leg on that left side upward, bridging up, finding your way to your right side. Left heel finds the floor, right hand finds the strap, and walk your right knee back towards the back body a little bit. Left hand to the heart. Inhale, elbow to the sky. Draw that beautiful line in the sky and reach out long on the left arm. Pressing through your right elbow, see if you can bring the upper spine into a little more twist. Surrendering the back body. If you can find your right foot with the left hand, enjoy that thigh stretch. If you have your arm out, just gaze over your left shoulder if you can. Squeezing out our spine in these twists. Oh, so healing to the whole nervous system. If you have hold of that foot, you can release it and sweep a beautiful line of arc across the sky with your left fingertips. Left hand finds right hand, and we guide that leg up to the sky again. Bend the knee, take that strap, release over to the side, and take your Shavasana leg, left leg out, right leg out. Really flop the feet out to the side, and you feel those hip bones open. You feel that hip points, they release. Sacrum, your strong base for the gravity of this pose. Right arm long, left arm long, palm up to the sky, allowing that broadness across the chest, across the collarbone. Pressing the elbows into the earth. You could feel the lift of your sternum. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, exhaling, allowing the shoulders to melt. Back of the skull gently on the mat. Close the eyes. Inhale and exhale. Reoxygenate any areas you feel need your attention. Send a good intention to whatever needs it. Feel free to take one more hum with me so that we can really feel that vibration through the body. Inhaling. Settling that buzzing bee breath. Really using our practice to send light and positivity to all of the extremities of our nervous system. From the inside of the body outward. Begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Bend the elbows and the knees. And roll over onto your right side, away from your heart. Using the hands to guide yourself up to a seated position. Inhaling the arms up to the sky, inviting in even more positive energy to fuel us forward. And prayer position to the heart. Thank you so much for joining me in the practice today. Namaste.